Hey guys, Moser and Underground Tech here, and I'm going to give you my final update with 0.2 Dawn of the Hut and the subsequent patches and my Warbringer Warrior, which I think is honestly an incredible build. It's very, very good. It gives you massive, single target capabilities, and the mapping as a Warbringer compared to Titan and I think Smith Katava, unless you're using like Herald of Ice and splash targets, but generally for a more casual beginner playstyle without getting massive gear investment, it gives you really everything you need. Single target, really good high density map clear. The speed isn't great, but that's kind of a warrior thing, right? So let's get into it. So again, we're Warbringer. Why are we Warbringer? Well, every single attack you have is empowered. You have no Warcry cooldowns. Encased in Jade was buffed, so you get a whole bunch of additional physical damage reduction. That's great. We use Anvil's Weight for passive armor break. This allows you to pretty much not have to use Splinter in any gems or use the armor breaker gem. You just passively armor break. This opens up a lot of possibilities that I'll talk about in a second here. Or you can get block chance from Renly's training. So the way I built it is that you're going to have around 17 free points. And I did update the written guide, so I'll show you guys a peek right here. I did update the written guide with the tree, and I explained kind of my thought process. But long story short, I want to make it more casual friendly and give you more room to really maneuver. So with all these free points, you can go all the way down here to polymathy, because I know I don't personally like doing it like that, but some people do. They want easier attribute stacking, so you can do that. You can get some more block nodes all around here. You can invest in the bleed maybe if you want to, but there's a lot of more things you can do here. You can get some more rage, get some more overall damage, but that's why I have all those free points, right? Now, with Anvil's Weight over here, the thing that I like about it too is that you can also get into endurance charges, so you get like 60% increased armor. The thing about endurance charges is that it's a little sad because they don't really give you much unless you invest in the tree, which is a little bit unfortunate, because when you really think about it, it's like duration you don't really care about. There's one more over here somewhere, and recover life. You don't really need to recover life when you consume endurance charges because you have life flask, you have passive life regen as a warrior, and I'm pretty sure like that's it. So it is something to think about. And the other real positive of the endurance charge is that if you don't want to war cry as much, now you really don't have to, because you're going to generate a whole bunch of endurance charges when you use a support gem, and then you're going to get this passive armor increase, and you don't have to war cry as much. Again, I changed the playstyle so you're not really abusing deafening cries, because with the quality changes, it used to be like 0.22, now we lost almost a whole tenth of a second. So that does make a difference. Instead of getting like, you lose like 60% increased damage, but it is what it is. But that's why I have the free points. There are some options: the endurance charges, polymathy, bleed, more overall damage, rage, more overall defensives, or block too. So that's why I had the tree that way. It's in the written guide as well. I also don't path here because I got rid of some gem slots. It used to be right here, so that's that too. So that's why you play Warbringer. It's great. Again, like, you just war cry, you earth shatter, and you have a great time, because now you're exploding spikes, you're exploding the bodies, Herald of Ash, armor break, armor explosion. You can do armor consumption with batter shout too for some more AoE, and it gets ridiculous. You can even use some thorns, because you're going to always maintain scavenge plating, so thorns is pretty good now too. So if you want to use like quill burst or the thorn support on persistent skill gem, that's another option. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's the build overall. It's really incredible. And I am going to stop playing and go into last epoch, because I work yesterday late. I work in the afternoon till like almost midnight pretty much. So woke up late today and just try to get this video out before I start doing the last epoch starter guides. I never thought I would say this, but going into 0.2, it did not look like a big update, and it really isn't. Some endgame changes. I tried to play huntress. It was, again, the most miserable shit in the world. I know they buffed it, but I really don't care. I'm not really much for the playstyle at all. I don't want to spam lightning spear, and I don't want to spam one button. The same thing like Spark last league. Like, some people like it. I hate doing that shit. It just feels like so I want to say like anti-vision, but it's just really not fun. Like, oh look, it's like you just press one button and then everything just fucking dies. Like, in some ways it's satisfying. For me, it's like, I don't want to play POE 1 anymore, right? Like, I would like to play more meaningful combat. In some areas they do achieve that, but overall it's it's kind of sad. The totality of 0.2 is that it's really a blunder to me, because somebody like me, I don't care about Smith Katava, because it's going to be a great defensive ascendancy. I already know that. instead of doing something interesting with the offensive aspects of Smith and Katava with the anvil and the empowerments and the minions, they really didn't do anything. So it's like, why am I gonna play that? That doesn't seem a lot like fun to me. Like Warbringer just absolutely like completely changes your war cry and your slam playstyle, and it gives you something different to work with, right? A lot of options. Titan is really, really fun. More aftershocks, more life, more numbers, right? So like you're building up like the pinnacle of like a statistical superiority when it comes to a warrior, right? So like that's the idea of pushing that. Not exciting to me, but it's still very, very cool. And the endgame changes are just like, I don't know, man. Like I honestly like this mapping better than 1 to 16. I like just being able to not give a fuck and just go around. Like, I don't have to think. I'm like, okay, I get some push some corruption, do that. That's fun. Do this, do that. Great, right? But I just, you know, it's the progression is really, really slow. Like, get into red maps, like, there's really no problem. I'll go into played. I played 44 hours, which is kind of crazy because if I play 16 hours, I'm pretty slow compared to, like, racing and stuff like that in POE 1. And I know it's a different game, but like if I play 16 hours in POE 1, like I'm gonna be a dad soon. I got a family, I got a house, I work full time. If I'm gonna play 44 hours in almost 2 weeks of POE 2 in a new patch, and I can't even get to like the end game, and I'm playing efficiently, I have no methods of getting gear except for RNG. What am I doing, man? Like it's not even being difficult, it's just being like such a grind and slog that it's really not worth it for me to play. It's just like, all right, like I'm having fun, I really am, but am I really gonna commit another 20 hours? Like if last epoch wasn't coming out this Thursday, then I wouldn't. I would keep playing it, keep pushing it, keep having a good time. But I do think it's way too slow. They really didn't add much of any changes. I understand they want to do maybe one class at a time, but to me, it's like kind of a joke that they didn't really add more weapons. They didn't add the mercenary, slayer or duelist, whatever the fuck they're gonna do here. All they did was add huntress. Like that's it. Like if you're not gonna play that, what the fuck are you really doing right now? Like I get to kill rogue exiles. Like that's underwhelming. And overall, I just think it's a big blunder. Like there's so many other problems. I talked about in the other video. There's some philosophical changes they made. Like the big change everybody complains about loot, and I think people are complaining about the wrong thing because you go to POE 1, crafting and stuff like that to me was miserable. I hated farming thousands and dealing with that shit, and you get one base and then you're done. You never pick up a piece of loot on the ground. The core philosophical point of POE 2 is that you get your upgrades off the ground. I think 99.9% of the player population would be like, oh, you know what? That's good. I want to kill tough bosses and I want to get good gear from them. I think if they changed it so where like your map bosses or your end of the map rares were guaranteed to drop like a tier 3 rare or higher, it would really smooth out the progression and building your character, because now all of a sudden, instead of having to pick up 20 maces until I get something good, what I can do is that, hey, I'm gonna kill a boss and like I'll keep spinning that wheel, or I'll keep killing that end of the rare map, and I keep spinning that wheel, and I know eventually I'm gonna get like a tier 2 or 3 or 4 mace, or tier 3 4 armor set, and slowly but surely you're gonna build up that way. But right now the higher tier bases drop way too slow. They're way too rare. Progression is terrible. You have no control over it. Like I get that, like they want you to get into maps, have fun, which I do, and then get your gear that way. But again, it's just I don't know. Again, 44 hours and it's just like super slow, super grindy. I got a life, got my wife, gonna be a dad soon. It's just like, when I have a kid, there's no fucking way in how I'm gonna justify playing 44 hours in 2 weeks. Like that's crazy, right? That's a lot, I feel like, for me. Like, I normally don't play that much, but it is what it is. Last epoch, much more satisfying play style, much more, well, not play style, but like progression. The crafting is probably the best crafting. It's better than POE 1, 100%. I don't give a fuck what you say. The last epoch crafting and progression for gear is 1,000,000 times better than POE 1. I don't even think it's a conversation. Again, POE 1 is a lot of gatekeeping on knowledge, which I have, but a lot of people don't. And a lot of like content creators and streamers are like, oh, well, good for me. Fuck you guys. I can teach you how to craft, but like a 2-hour video on crafting still isn't going to have somebody understand the core principles of how to, really go from, hey, I have these suffixes, these affixes. All right, I bricked it. Well, actually, no, you didn't brick it because you can do this obscure method and then go into, betrayal, do this, get the field orbs and stuff like that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Ran over. That's why this made my last POE 2 video. Still gonna work on the written guide. I had it somewhere over here. Sorry. And I made some updates today. Again, no more spammy playstyle with Warbringer. If you're having fun with POE 2, please keep playing it. It really is a good game. It's a great game, actually, but the flaws are like pretty jarring, and in early access, when you should be seeing sweeping changes across the board, they're being so conservative. It's actually kind of like, you guys can do better than that. We know you can do better than that. And that's it. If you haven't played Last Epoch, give it a chance. It is absolutely incredible. Pretty decent game to get to the end game, get to monoliths. They made a sweeping changes to the end game. A lot of cool stuff. And Moser and Nigger on Tech here. I hope you enjoyed. Have a good one.